Team Fantastisch ist wieder da.
Dankeschön, Varian. And for all those who don't know, that was just the introduction of the Team Awesome is back in German. The reason why being the craziness that is going on among the fandom right now. So we're going to deviate a little from our intended path tonight. We intended to review Painter's Block tonight, but then the past week has given us so much news that we're going to have to dedicate this episode to the news and then the Christmas videos like we promised. Our Christmas videos, by which I mean the Tangled collections, which we discussed doing after Christmas. So, so first of all, the hiatus, it's still up in the air for the United States. There's been a lot of conflicting information in the past week, but here's the long and the short of it. Germany is getting at least 3 new episodes starting on February the 10th, and this has been confirmed by Disney Channel Germany. So that's not, rumor or anything like that. This has been confirmed by Disney Channel Germany. Disney Channel Germany does not know what's going on in the U.S. It is not, I can't say it's not the same company, but it's not the same division of the company. It's not like they communicate with each other.
And shout out to them for, actually talking to their fans and giving information out.
Yeah, exactly. Because
did the person who runs, the Tangled, the series stuff, die and they just didn't bother to replace them?
I don't know.
Or did they lose their key to their cage on the Disney lot? What's going on?
They were like, well, you could just message them and see. I'm like, ha, 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 ha. Nice. We could try.
Thanks for the suggestion, but they're not going to answer us. I mean, just straight up, they're not going to answer us. It's not like we haven't been yelling at them about Tangled for, a month or so now. And it's like when you look at their social media platforms, they've been radio silent for ages. Mm-hmm. When was the last time they posted anything on their Facebook or their Instagram? Or I assume they have a Twitter also. Actually, I know they have a Twitter. So the series social media things don't post anything for Tangled. And it's y'all have these things. If you're not going to use them, at least give them to the fans who will do something with them,
even when the show's on, they barely posted anything. I
know. Mm-hmm. When it was brand new, we got a lot of stuff. Yeah. And then it just tapered off, kind of like them doing things for the show tapered off, So, all right. So Germany is definitely getting 3 episodes. The U.S. hiatus is not officially over, but we also don't have all of February's schedule yet because we get February's schedule 3 weeks in advance. So we only have up to, 3 weeks from today as we're recording it, and we're recording this on the 24th. So that gives you an idea of when we actually know how far in advance we know.
We should know the next Sunday. Is it Monday? Because it was Monday of this week.
Exactly. We know the following Sunday schedule on Mondays. So that's when we pop back on and check. And I'm hoping that they're not just going to reschedule it like they have been and be like, oh, surprise, it's on, Thursdays now. Yeah. It's so, it's not like we're the only people who watch the schedule, so the other schedule people will let us know if it's officially on the schedule.
I don't get it, man. I
guess there's always the possibility they'll give us a spontaneous, oh, by the way, we're coming back announcement like they did for season 2.
It's on tonight.
Tune in advance.
I swear. Yeah, that one was so funny because they literally just opened the door a crack. Hey, guess what? Tangled's coming back in 3 weeks. And we all went, what?
Well, because I remember the schedule came out and it wasn't on there. And then somebody saw on their direct TV Beyond the Corona Laws and we're like, no. We're like, what is this?
What? No. What? No.
And we were like, oh my gosh.
So I know that everybody's keeping their eyes on everything. They're keeping their eyes on their direct TV schedules. They're keeping their eyes on their on-demands. They're keeping their eyes on the official ABC Press stuff. So we're trying to find out stuff as fast as we can. But unfortunately, that's not that fast. But the new episodes that we do know about, and these are confirmed episodes, are Peril on the High Seas, Curses, and The Eye of Pencosta. And the real episodes, we just don't know when we're getting them.
Mm-hmm. And they're all Eugene episodes.
Yeah, they totally are.
Because this is the season of Eugene.
Honestly, for all we know, the U.S. is going to start scrambling the airing order like they did with season 1. I really hope they don't plan to do that. But that was, it has crossed my mind that could happen. They could change their minds about what order they show them in.
If they make me wait for the second episode with Vigor, there will be consequences. There's probably gonna be more evidence, and if I have to wait, I'm going to be a very unhappy person.
Or you can just see the evidence in German now.
Very unhappy people.
I am gonna watch it when it comes out in Germany if they get it first, because I'm like,
you know what? I'll be like, I have a German friend.
I will get the DVD.
I have a German friend, and I'm just gonna be like, okay, I'm gonna watch the episode, but I also want you to give me a transcript in English so I know what the hell it is I'm watching.
Let's just try and figure it out by like visuals. Or like, wait.
Here's the funny thing. I've actually heard this described before, that if you think about it, English is German with a French accent. So there's a good chance that we might actually kind of be able to understand what's going on. It's like, it's like we use a lot of Germanic words in English, or at least German-based words in English. So we might actually have the gist of what the heck is going on between visuals and that really slim pickings of knowing. Anyway,
when I was looking at the dub today, I was like, so this is what it's going to be like now. And I know it's not permanent, but I'm just like,
I don't remember who it was, but I saw that somebody posted this thing on Tumblr that was all like a picture of Rosetta Stone, the language learning thing. You're like, I guess this is what it's come to. Learn German.
Well, if you think about it, technically, since Tangled is a German fairy tale, we're watching it how it, how they would actually be talking.
See, the part that really confuses me is that in order to release it in Germany, they have to dub it. Mm-hmm. So they have to actually go a step farther. Mm-hmm. So literally, they're ready to go. They're just not showing them to us at this point. I mean, we already know they're ready to go because Mercury Filmworks finished animating season 2 like months ago.
They've been done.
Yeah. Like they've been done. They've been ready. So
Disney's just supporting them.
I just want to know. I don't get it. Just tell me why. Tell me what your
this is
thought is behind this.
It's a personal attack on me. I know this. I'm kidding. They just don't want me to know if Dark Prince Eugene is real or not, and they want me to slowly lose my mind.
It's because you figured it out. Now you're being punished.
Maybe they're angry at me because I don't want to work for them anymore. They're like, oh, how dare she.
We'll show her.
Yep.
No, but I mean, honestly, though, it's like when the hiatus was fairly new and people were like, it was like a month in and people were like, oh, I'm going crazy. I'm like, guys, come on, chill. It hasn't been that long. Now I'm like, no, now I'm getting mad too.
I'm
like,
I did my
waiting. I am being crazy. I am all definitions of mad right now because of this hiatus. So it's just, it's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. Okay, so these 3 new episodes, I'm really excited about all of them, if I'm honest.
Yes.
So we're gonna start with Peril on the High Seas, which is Max and Eugene get in distress at sea and are saved as another ship comes by, but the ship is full of prisoners and the prisoners have taken over control after a riot. I love this idea. First and foremost, we know for a fact that they are leaving the island.
Mm-hmm.
Yay!
Yes.
I assume
we're not just gonna appear back on regular land.
Yes.
I assume that they're going to be on the ferry that comes every full moon or new moon or whichever one it was. But I assume that because their caravan was destroyed, and they have got to replace that caravan. Like I'm kind of pulling my hair out about never replacing
ferry.
So I assume that they're taking the ferry back across.
Yeah.
But the idea that it's going to be a Max and Eugene episode, I love it when Max and Eugene work together. Like the end bit of Fitzherbert P.I., I was all over that. Seeing them work together is like super awesome. And I have been thinking a lot lately. It's interesting that in the movie, I like Max better, but in the series, I like Pascal better. And that's partly because Max actually doesn't get shown nearly often enough. Like you think about how hysterically funny and active he was in the movie. He's not as funny and active in the series because they don't look at him as often, And so having an episode that actually focuses on Max, that isn't about his weird delusions about girlfriends and rivals. That was a weird episode.
I think I've only watched that one once.
Yeah, same. I watched it and I'm done. I don't need to see it again. Sorry.
It's like I've had some gifable moments in that, so I'm like, I have watched it more than once because there's gifable moments. But it's still, that was a weird episode, It's kind of down there on my list of favorites.
Every season
I liked
has
it because Lance was in it.
Yes.
Like, and Lance and Eugene kept getting stuck with Dwayne and being like, they're treated like they're arresting the dude, and they're like, hello, this isn't our job.
I don't even remember that. That's how little I've watched that episode.
Twice in the episode.
It would be a brand new episode if I watched it.
Left with Dwayne, because first it's because Axel shows up, so all the guards go off with Rapunzel and Axel and Max and all that, and they're like, hello, we've got the criminal over here still. And then at the end of the episode, they get stuck with him again after Lady Kane kicks him off the money cart. So there's two instances in that episode where Eugene and Lance get stuck with Dwayne. So I'm like,
see, this is what watching the new episodes in German is going to be like. I vaguely know what's going on, but I don't know a lot. I'm just getting ready.
See, if nothing else, watching it in German will be like, that was gifable. I love that moment. Look at that cute moment. I don't know what's going on, but it's so cute.
It's adorable.
You should be studying. So, I mean, I'm also excited about this because, I mean, they've talked about the prison barges before. In One Angry Princess, they've talked about they were going to put Attila on the prison barge. And so that implies that this, I don't know if it's going to be specifically a Corona prison barge, but this does open up the opportunity of there being known criminals. Like, what if this is the, like, Stabbington reunion episode?
Ooh.
You know?
That'd be fun. Yeah, I still am like, okay, are we going to actually, like, mend the relationship with the stabs? So it makes sense that they're crying at their wedding? Or is it just going to be like a stupid gag?
It's just one of those
Nathan
things.
and Byron put in.
See, and I can accept that because before we even knew there was ever going to be a series, we accepted that as a stupid gag, you know?
Yeah.
And so, like, if that ends up being what it is, that ends up being what it is. I remember that Chris at some point did mention that there will be some characters who will be explained and there will be some characters who are not explained. And that goes for both presence and non-presence. So it's like, well, he didn't say presence and non-presence. He said non-presence. You know, like, there will be characters that we know why they're there or not, and there will be characters that we don't know why they're there or not. So,
who wants to place bets on who's going to be a corpse?
right? I'm still pretty kind of like, Kieran is like my number one target.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Because, like, literally,
He might already be one, so we don't know.
That's the point, is that it's like, if he was gonna come out of the amber, like, fine, then there'd be no point to that note.
How's he breathing in there?
Ooh, and I get the impression that it's gonna get heavy and dark as we get farther along.
Yeah.
Now, if he would just show it to us, we would know.
Neil and I have had that argument so many times. He's like, they wouldn't kill Kieran off. I'm like, wanna bet?
Seriously.
I'm like, he's not breathing in there. I don't know what you're talking about.
They killed baby Pascal. They have no limits for who they
exactly.
can kill now.
Honestly, I have to agree with you because it's like between killing baby Pascal and between all the near deaths in Queen for a Day, I'm like, they're not afraid to do it. You know? It's like the only reason why those people didn't die in Queen for a Day is because they don't die. You know? It's like they had a reason to not kill them off. So
have confirmation they're all okay later.
Yes.
Some of them have weddings to attend.
Some of them have weddings to be a part of, you know? So I mean, so honestly, I think that as often happens with TV series, that they do get darker and more serious. And granted, they do still, I don't remember where I saw it recently, but I recently saw something about like the quote-unquote target audience, the ones that the crew has had to keep, they've had to keep it at like that level. It's like 9 to 12. So I think it can get a little darker, but not too dark because
it's not going Gravity Falls. That's
no.
Dang,
it's not going
sure.
Gravity Falls to ancient teenagers.
Disney will never do that ever again.
No, honestly, there are times where I remember watching Gravity Falls the first time, and there are some stuff that happened with Bill that just made me go, ah! Like,
My favorite.
They put these on a Disney Channel.
My favorite gosh darn line from that show is, I have some children to turn into corpses. I'm like, Jesus Christ, Alex, what the heck? You can't say that. It's the Disney Channel.
And yet they wouldn't let them confirm the gay couple until the very end. So anyway, I mean, if they kill people, I think they're going to kill people kind of similarly to how they killed Pascal, where it's not going to be like gory.
Mm-hmm.
It will be way more emotional than it will be visual. So, So it's still a possibility. I mean, I have certain characters where I'm like, there's no way that they'll kill them. And I have certain characters where I'm like, they might.
Well, and then you take into account that this is a story where the main character dies. And the possibility of coming back is the thing. So you never know. You don't know what they're going to do.
That's an absolute fact that people need to keep into consideration is that they could kill anybody and bring them back because in this world that can happen.
Yep. Rapunzel, watch out. You're next.
Like, see, here's the thing. Here's the thing, honestly, though, is that, like, so clearly the sun drop is in Rapunzel, and so who's to say that something would not trigger the healing again if necessary? You know? Like, I'm not ruling out the idea of her, like, when she touched the rocks and she got all powered up, I'm not ruling out the idea that she could get super powered up again, even more so, and, like, just fix whatever carnage happened. And, like, you know, God only knows. So, like, there's a lot of stuff that could happen in this series and still have it safe for the kids. So, yeah. So, that's Peril on the High Seas, possible Stabbingtons.
For that episode, I was going to add, I was like, since there's a riot, can we have a very subtle Avatar The Last Airbender reference?
Hey,
riot! Riot!
That would be amazing.
So good.
I'd love that.
Just Eugene picks up a dude and yells riot.
So the next episode is Curses. Rapunzel meets again Madame Canardis and Vigor the Visionary. Vigor issues a curse on Rapunzel shortly before she and her friends cross a dangerous mountain pass. So first of all,
Prince Eugene! I mean, I'm sorry. No, other things are happening in this episode. It has nothing to do with
No. See, the thing is that, like, I'm gonna go with, like, the obvious stuff where it's like, OMG, we're meeting Vigor again, and that's already very exciting. But there's, like, I can't see it conceivably being that the way that the last time they saw Vigor ending, I cannot see that not coming up again.
And, like, he's gonna try and get information out of that monkey. He's gonna be like, what? Why did you look at me like that? And Vigor's gonna be like, and I'm gonna be like,
I will actually give you money if you tell me. But honestly, like, if you look at the description of Vigor the Visionary, Eugene's whole thing in that was not even really touched on in the description. So I've got no reason to think that it would be touched on in this episode either. You know? It's like that's their nice cover-up thing. And also, I'm speculating with this episode that you're going to kind of have the group sort of split in belief. Like, I think that Rapunzel's going to be like, oh, there's no such thing as curses. Oh, no, I stubbed my toe. Curses are real. And Liz is going to be like, oh, my God, curses are real. And Eugene and Cassandra are going to be like, curses are not real. What are you talking about? And so then you've got to deal with, like, Hookfoot's going to be like, I can see Hookfoot either being... There's no such thing as curses, or I don't know, I've seen Stranger Things, and, like, I don't even want to know how Shorty's going to get along with Vigor. Like, it's going to be hysterically funny, however.
Oh my God. They're going to be BFFs.
They are. He's going to offer the damn monkey a yam. That's what's going to happen. Like, prediction. Shorty offers Vigor a yam. Second prediction. Vigor eats it. You know?
Dear Disney Channel, I need you to give me the air date of this episode so I can ask to have that day off of work, because I can't be held accountable for telling every single customer who comes into my work, hi, have you heard about Dark Prince Eugene?
I'm freaking out.
Oh my God. I mean, yes, I'm sorry, guys. I don't mean to talk about him all the time, but this hiatus has gone on so long.
We're going crazy.
Here's the thing. None of us expected. Like, honestly, I anticipated Vigor being a one-shot. I did not expect to see him again.
I'm so happy that he's coming back.
Now that he's back, it's like, no, this has to have something to do with it. And I flash back to the season 2 poster where Eugene is holding him. Yes. It's like, oh my God, Vigor is so important to Eugene's story. It's ridiculous.
I'm so excited. I'm also just so excited that Vigor is coming back. I'm like, yes, thank you for not making it a one-off. Like,
yes.
I remember, I'm just so happy that he's coming back. It's so great. I love my monkey son.
And okay, so speaking of unexpected returns, the Eye of Pincosta. To get Eugene out of jail, Rapunzel has to band together with Eugene's ex-fiance, Stallion.
Woo! I'm so excited.
Stallion stole years ago. Like, I'm like, here's the thing.
I'm so excited, more catty Rapunzel.
Yes!
Here's the thing. I like always suspected that we'd see her again. I really did. I'm like, there's no way that they were going to be like, introduce the big scary Baron and then like practically kill him off in the same episode. Like, I'm like, there's no way that this is the last we've seen of them. And sure, Stallion even says, you haven't seen The Last of Us, but what villain doesn't say that? You know? Yeah. So, but I highly anticipated seeing her again, but I did not anticipate that episode being, and Rapunzel has to team up with her.
Oh my god, it's gonna be so good.
So I'm like really stupidly excited about that.
Yes, I cannot wait for that episode.
See, I want to see Candy Rapunzel. I also want to see Rapunzel like try her hardest to take the higher ground and like try to be sweet and nice to Stallion because otherwise she won't help her. Yeah. And so she has to be nice, and she hates it.
So keep reminding herself, you're doing this for Eugene. You're doing this for Eugene.
I love Eugene. I love Eugene.
Yep.
So I can't wait to see what sort of things like Stallion says to Rapunzel. Like, I imagine a little cattiness right back at her, but I imagine her like spilling the beans on like embarrassing things Eugene has done to try to make Rapunzel like think less of him, but it just endears him to her.
God, I hadn't even thought about that. Oh my god, embarrassing younger Eugene.
Oh,
I'm gonna cry.
Oh my gosh.
What? Oh,
what
no.
if this is the flashback backstory episode?
No.
Wait, no. I'm taking that back. I'm taking it back because I'm still sure we're seeing Eugene and Lance as little kids, and I don't think they met Stallion at the orphanage.
Probably not,
however, this doesn't mean that there will be no flashbacks.
Oh wait, but maybe they could have met Stallion at the orphanage. Maybe the Baron gave stuff to the orphanage.
That doesn't seem like the Baron's MO, Mr.
I just don't. I know, but
we never know. We never know.
However, I'm not saying that we'll get no flashbacks because I would love to see flashbacks of, Flynn and Stallion and Lance all like palling around back in the day. I would love to see that. So
part of me wants to, but the other part of me doesn't want to.
Yeah.
Ew. I just had a bad thought.
Go ahead.
Like it. No, it's what if we?
Laura said you have to tell us.
Now you have to tell.
Yes. What if they?
I'm done. I'll stop watching the show. Just kidding.
Gross.
I just mean like what if there's a flashback?
No, I know what you're saying. You're saying. When he was into her, Yep.
Gross.
I'm not playing that game, Tangled. I don't want to see any of that.
However, I will say one thing. If they give us a flashback, that will probably be like good fanfic fodder. So, like, maybe more people will write fanfics if there's an intriguing flashback.
Man, I miss the days when people used to write fanfic.
Man.
Listen, I have the ideas. I just can't get my hands to do it.
I know. Same here.
So, those are our 3 known episodes so far, and I know that we are now all keeping our nose to the ground when it comes to Royal Seal, who has been giving us all of this information from Germany. So, thank
you.
Thank you so much for sharing all this information with us. So yeah, that's going to be interesting if they keep spitting out new episodes well before us. I mean, not to sound dark and salty, but I'm getting dark and salty.
But that, it happens with other shows, doesn't it? Like, I've never really kept up with the show.
It does happen with other shows. There are other shows that have aired in other, I can't remember which one it was, but somebody told me something about something aired in Italy before it aired in the U.S. So it totally happens. It's just like I was saying to Kelsey earlier today that, if it was Canada where it's animated and they speak English, I'd feel better about it.
Yeah.
But it's Germany who, they haven't even aired the last episode of season 1 in Germany yet, I think.
No, they get Happinesses on the 9th, and then they get whatever it's called, Peril on the High Seas on the 10th.
Yeah.
And the Instagram, verified that. They get 2 new episodes in a row. Ugh.
Yeah. They do.
I'm happy for them, but ugh.
Exactly. No, I'm with you. I'm happy for them. Like I said, I have this one German friend, and she is always frustrated with how German is like. German doesn't. Not only do they out getting the episodes more slowly, but it's so hard to get merchandise in Germany and all this kind of stuff. So I'm like, well, congratulations, you're actually ahead of us on something for once.
I know.
You know. Unless the U.S. wants to surprise us and say, just kidding, you are getting the episode on the 10th. That'd be great. So, okay. So, guys, now this is time for something that is incredibly unusual. We never ask you to do this. But for the first time in this podcast run, we are going to ask you to look at your screens because we are going to show off our Tangled collections. So if you have any questions about any of the things we've got and where we got it, how long we've had it, that kind of stuff, feel free to shoot us and ask on the comments of the video. Feel free to ask us on our Tumblrs. And other than that, just go ahead and enjoy the show with our collections.
Hey guys, it's Bex, and it's time to show you my Tangled collection. I'm going to let you know right now that I have the video lighting on my camera because the lighting in my apartment is not very great, and so you are going to get reflections in plastic and glass. I apologize for that. Hopefully it doesn't spoil it too much for you. So we start here with the series PVC toys. You can see this is where everybody hangs out, right below my TV, so that every time I'm watching TV I see them. I've got my sizzling, swinging frying pan. It clangs, it sizzles. This here is a glass acid etched lantern. You can see as I move the camera around that it's got the sun symbol on it. And that's an LED camera or candle in it. Not an open flame. Not that I have anything against open flames. I have a lot of official Tangled art. These are all prints. I do not have any originals of the official stuff. The one on the left there is from Claire Keene's website. The one on the right here, that was a limited edition print. The cool thing about both of those is that I had them professionally framed, and so they're a little less reflective than other things because it's like museum quality framing. Also, if I left them somewhere where the sun hit them, it has a special UV coating on the glass to help protect them against the sunlight. Around the ceiling of my apartment, you can see that I've got lanterns. I mean, Tangled aesthetic, why wouldn't I have that? Over here we've got a purple lantern that a friend of mine made me, I think it was in 2011, back when the first Christmas after my obsession really took full swing. So she made me that. She's done a lot of my original stuff. All the one-of-a-kind stuff I have is hers. She made it for me. I've got prints of the fairy tale dolls. I've also got the actual fairy tale dolls, you'll see them in a second. You've got the Rapunzel and Eugene animator dolls. The funny thing that I realized about Eugene is that the animator dolls have two size bodies, and he's got the short body, which was originally made for Anna, so when Anna and Elsa stand next to each other, Anna's shorter. But they had to give him the shorter body because he's got sculpted hair, and so he would not fit in the box if he did not have a shorter body. Now, the original Rapunzel has a taller body, but when they came out with this special edition Rapunzel this year at Christmas, they gave her the shorter body so that when you stand her next to Eugene, she'll be shorter, because otherwise she's taller. This Maximus and Pascal came with a special set that I got. I actually have multiple Rapunzel animator dolls, not even all of them on display, because I don't need all of them on display. But these two guys, I could not resist those faces. I mean, look at those. They're so cute, and they're so fluffy. Down here, we've got those fairy tale collector boxes that I was talking about. This was the first one, this Rapunzel and Eugene with the lantern. The funny thing with that one is that I was terrified I was not going to actually get my hands on this box set, so I actually went to the Disney store on my lunch break, and I took an extra long lunch break to make sure I got my hands on that, because I really thought I wasn't going to. We back down here, and you see I have a lot of the series stuff. We've got the Rapunzel and Cassandra set. We've got the Coronation mini dolls. We've got a lot of the Hasbro toys. That's a purple lantern because purple lanterns are aesthetic. Obviously, my entire Tangled collection is not 100% genuine Tangled. It's either, there's a lot of stuff that's just Tangled aesthetic that goes with it too. That plastic journal actually used to house this little play set, which includes the smallest Pascal in my set, in all of my collection. behind that is the journal that came with the Tangled Before Ever After DVD. You've got the Christmas ornaments here. Those are the series ornaments specifically. I have way more Disney or way more Tangled Christmas ornaments than that. Here we've got stained glass window jumbo pins. I actually intended to mount them with a light backing them at some point so that you will actually get that lighting effect, because with stained glass, if you don't actually run light through it. Here's the Bullyland toys. I got them on Amazon UK because they're not in the US, which is unfortunate, but that's the breaks right now, apparently. This little tin houses a 50-piece puzzle that my mom put in my stocking this Christmas, and I was absolutely thrilled to get it. And here is the Dornarker Pascal. You can get him at Target or Walmart or wherever. He's pretty easy to come by. This here is a medallion for the Royal Family 5K, one of the marathons that Disney hosts. I did not run the marathon. I just bought the medallion off eBay because, haha, running me? No. Here we've got Rapunzel's adventure bag. There's multiple Rapunzel's adventure bags in Tangled merch, but this is the Hasbro one. The Disney Store one is the one that you actually decorate yourself. It comes with stencils and markers and things like that. This is a flower crown that I made for my Rapunzel Ren Fair costume. You can see that I included the magic flower. You really can't see how glittery and gorgeous that thing is, but it's really glittery and gorgeous. Up here, this is the first Rapunzel animator doll I ever got, and she's special because she's one of a kind. That same friend who made me that purple lantern, I'll show you in a second, actually repainted her face. So you can actually see that she has a lot of really good movie detail. Look at those really well done lips and the detailed eyes and the very slight freckles on her nose and those really good eyebrows. So yeah, my friend made me her, and she's the first Rapunzel animator doll I ever got. So she's special for that, and so she always gets to stay out. Nice place of honor up here on the shelf where I can always see her very clearly. This little dude, he's got snap bracelet arms, and that's so he can hold onto your arm. Granted, they are made for child arms, and so he is too small for my arm and won't stay on, but he's adorable anyway, and I had to have him. Here we've got the lantern bubble blower, a frying pan that is a generic frying pan I got for cosplay purposes. There is the original crown that came out when the movie came out. Here is the, sorry for that, that was one of my cats. Here is the Hot Topic satchel. I'm going to warn you guys now, this button comes off. I had to sew that back on. Here we have the Tangled Lego sets, which my sister got them all for me because she's a huge Lego fanatic and I'm a huge Tangled fanatic, and she's like, oh my gosh, it's like our two hobbies are in one thing. And so the only rule is if she gets me the sets, I have to let her put them together with me. So I mean, that's not, she's my sister, I love her, I absolutely don't mind doing that. But you can see there's like the Cassandra Lego, Rapunzel, and she's got a bow. Because of this, and because of her having the whole bow toys thing going on, I'm utterly convinced that at some point Rapunzel's going to genuinely have a bow that's all her own. Here she is in her bedroom, and here you've got a cute little swing set with a little Lego wanted poster of Eugene. Speaking of which, Rapunzel and Eugene have fallen down. Let me show you Rapunzel and Eugene. So, here, I actually got a custom hairpiece for Rapunzel. Like it's not custom, but there are people who make Lego parts that do not exist in the regular Lego store and whatnot. So I got a special hairpiece for Rapunzel because she needs to be brunette. And here's her tower piece. That's a movie set, as are these. But yeah, so you can see Eugene is in the same style. He's in his movie clothes and not his series clothes, but you can get a Eugene to go with the rest of your Legos. I've got this sucker, which I put back after, or while I was talking about the other stuff. That purse I designed myself. It came in gold, but I added the sun on it, and I took that with me to the Annies last year. I've got the Rapunzel Eugene and Mother Gothel 12-inch dolls. This Eugene is also custom painted by that same person. You can see how much more detail there is on his face, and he came out, she made him for me before they came out with the newer design, where he had the textured hair. So she added all that texture to his hair herself. Here we've got the couple mugs, which I freaking adore and had to have as soon as they came out. And we've got a nice little Japanese toy. I actually have a second one of her that I intend to paint. That I did that similar thing for a friend of mine once. I painted that little figure up so that it had color and didn't just look like marble. Cute little box. I've got my series plushies. These are the brand new Funko Minis. And this is the first time Funko has like acknowledged Eugene's existence, which is great. I love that he's got the little candle rod that, or candlestick rather, that was in the first trailer for like 3 seconds. I've got in the background, you can see the journals that came with those not came with, but the same series as those doll sets. Here is Rapunzel's journal. It's actually got a locking mechanism, and it's got, you know, journaly things inside, including a black light pen and then a black light that you shine on it to read what you just wrote. Here are the Funko Pops. So only the blonde Rapunzels and the Maximus and Pascal are original. The red Pascal is a custom. Brunette Rapunzel and Eugene are custom. Those were not made by the same friend. Those were both, each was made by different friends. So that's a total of 3 people who've made me things so far. Here we've got the 12-inch doll set of, you know, the series. I had to have them all out on display. And for anybody who follows me on Instagram, yeah, I keep moving my dolls farther and farther away so that my cats can't knock them off the shelves anymore, because while it's funny to have Rapunzel or Cassandra splayed out on the floor, it does get tiring after a while, and I do not want small pieces lost because of that. So we're moving down now. Here we've got some more of the Hasbro dolls. I've got an extra Rapunzel and Eugene of the series Tsum Tsums. I love that that Hasbro put Rapunzel in her nightgown, so we have any merch of Rapunzel in her nightgown. That's an old phone case in the background there of fan art that I love that fan artist, and I miss her terribly. We've got the series crown. We've got my Fitz Pancake Day button that I made last year when I went to Disneyland on Fitz Pancake Day. My co-captain of the Tangled Fandom Resurrection button, some Pascal buttons, the movie Tsum Tsums, plus the little tiny plastic Tsum Tsums. And that's that singing Rapunzel where when you flick her wrist, she sings When Will My Life Begin. Here, that's a bubble wand. It's a really big bubble wand. I love it. Here we've got the Hasbro Rapunzel and Eugene proposal set. There's all of my books. There's my little Varian corner that I made when I was cosplaying as him. Here's some various other books and things, coloring books and whatnot. And there's one of the archery sets. Hasbro has a set, Disney has a set. That I think is Hasbro's. Yep. Let's see. So over here we've got my Disney on Ice merchandise. We've got a foam frying pan that also clangs, but the battery's currently dead. The battery's dead in a lot of my Tangled stuff. And there's the Corona flag. Here's a foam flag that I bought at Disneyland when I was there, Disney battling as Cassandra, as well as my owl necklace, which I repainted from a different necklace. Here's a bunch of other necklaces I've got. Most of them are custom, but that Corona Sun one came from Party City many years ago. It's currently missing jewels. I need to find jewels that will fit it so I can continue on having it be pretty like that. Here is the series bag that was at D23 Expo in 2017. Here is a lantern that I hand painted the lampshade myself to, so I would have a nice hanging lantern. Here's the purse that comes with that doll set. Behind it is another official art piece. It's Rapunzel and Gothel, and I really like the muted colors, and it's very gorgeous. So now we are going to move on to the wedding section. So here's the Tangled Ever After stuff. You've got that little Pascal coin purse hanging off the wall. But that 17-inch brunette Rapunzel was a birthday present to myself the year it came out, because she came out in May, and I was like, there's absolutely no way that I am not getting that for myself. And that up there is actually the certificate of authenticity that goes with that doll. So we've got the Jim Shore wedding thing, and we've got the Christmas ornament wedding thing. That's actually wedding Pascal. You can see it's got a little bow tie on. We've got the crown from Angel Wigs. So So yeah, that's not an official crown. It's just a really, really gorgeous replica crown. And you've got the wedding Rapunzel Tsum Tsum. You've got the Mattel, I think, was still doing him at this moment. So this is the Mattel Eugene. I didn't really want to get the blonde bride Rapunzel because that's incorrect. Here's a nice little silhouette portrait of them. Here is the Disney store dolls of them. But Disney also came out with a blonde Rapunzel. They sell primarily at the parks, and the blonde one had a better dress. So that's actually the blonde Rapunzel's dress on brunette Rapunzel. I need to get, like, I need to swap their crowns and veils out, but they're, like, sewn into their hair, and I don't want to, like, I want to actually take the time to cut things out nicely and not just half-ass it. Here we've got some of my more expensive various statues and whatnot. These are the painted maquettes that came out a couple years back. I love this particular figure here because their faces are just so sweet. It's really, really cute. Here is another 17-inch singing Rapunzel, and I actually turned one of these into my tree star. You'll see that later on because I'll have a cut where I go to my Christmas stuff. Okay, this wet paint sign is actually from Walt Disney World. I don't know if they still use them, but they used to have those up all over the place when they were doing repairs on things. That's from Disneyland. It's actually 3D. It's hard to tell in this, but the Rapunzel and Eugene are like right up against the glass, and the background is behind them, like by about 1/4 of an inch. It's really pretty cool. Here is basically all Jim Shore stuff on this shelf. I have been collecting them for... one thing I love about Jim Shore, and that's not Jim Shore obviously, but one of the things I love about Jim Shore is Jim Shore stuff is basically affordable, and I really, really like that his stuff is affordable because that makes it easy for laymen to get their hands on it. So down here we've got more various stuff in the back. I'm sorry, that's cat shoulder, tail, and face. That keeps muffling my voice. So in the back is more Hasbro toys. The tower thingy is a little bento box that a friend got me. The tower here is a salt and pepper shaker. I've got various Rapunzel and Eugene things. That little Mickey Mouse with Rapunzel's design on it is an antenna ball that I painted. That Sega Rapunzel was a gift, so I'm thrilled about that. I've got this little flower lamp was also a present. It's a Christmas present from two friends, one of the Japanese ones. I don't have a lot of the Japanese merch because that's almost impossible. Eugene does not want to stand up. This Eugene that doesn't want to stand up is actually a magnetic paper doll set, so I guess magnet doll set. So all the pieces are inside the little case, and Rapunzel's on the back side. This Rapunzel ornament, she's not with the rest of my stuff because I just got her this year after I'd put Christmas stuff away. I have a long story about that. I'll tell you guys about it sometime online, especially if you ask questions. Here's, of course, my Wreck-It Ralph stuff. Plushy Pascals. I've got Pascal on 2 straws, and they're sitting in a glass. I don't know if you can see the glass very well. It's got the sun on it. That was another custom gift. I've got some cute little play school stuff. I've got the perfume that was at Hot Topic a couple years back. Her lantern also lights up, but that's another needs batteries thing. And I've got the mini animated doll back here. Down here I've got a lot more, this is the non-breakable stuff so that if my cats choose to knock it down, it's not going to hurt it any. I mean, with the exception of that jewelry box, that could break, I suppose, but it's also a little heavy for them to be randomly batting it down. So I've got my itty bitties, and I've got Valentine's Day candy boxes. I got those at Target. That My Little Pony Rapunzel was another custom one by the same friend who did all of the detailed painting. I've got the Amy Meberson doll. You've got the Disney Infinity stuff. You've got the Hasbro doll set with the boat and little Pascal and Maximus. These are Japanese ones, the brunette and Eugene and blonde and crown. You've got that, which most people are going to recognize. You've got, yeah, so I have a bunch of little things, Japanese things and whatnot. In the back corner here, that brush and comb set, along with the ticket that says El Capitan, those were, the El Capitan is a theater that Disney owns, and every now and then they will show older movies, and not just when they're doing like the princess movies again, they'll sometimes just randomly show the older movies. So I have that brush and comb set from one time when I went to go see it, as well as that ticket. And the 2 tickets next to it are extremely faded. You can barely read them, but they're also from the El Capitan from a different time I went there. Back here you've got the Hasbro wedding set. So there's another example of brunette Rapunzel merchandise. Down here we have my book collection. And these are storybooks and the Disney Princess comics. That big thick one is a pop-up book and it's gorgeous. All these little spiral bound things are calendars, because Ellie makes me calendars quite often. Obviously 3 times at least. And I save them because I'm not going to throw those out. So I have a lot of the storybooks, even the compilation storybooks. Here's the art book, is very well loved. Here's the comics. Back here we've got some of the dolls that I have not had anywhere to put out yet. This is a special, it lights up, you're supposed to hang it on your wall, and so now she's standing on her balcony looking out. I actually want to repaint it so that it's a little bit less, you know, that. But we'll see how that goes. Oh, this here, I forgot to mention this because it was reflecting and whatnot. This is actually from opening night at the El Capitan. So it's a special 50th animated movie commemorative coin. Okay, so nice slow pan up here. You'll see that I've got my life-size cutout of Eugene. I could have potentially gotten more of them. They're not that expensive, but I only have room for one, and I had to pick my favorite character. Up here, this was also a gift. Each of those are a piece of film from the movie, or probably more specifically from the trailer. It's kind of hard to tell through the camera what those are, but so that's what that is. It's a special film strip series that a friend got me. Here is, we're starting to get into my pins. This is an ongoing pin series that is not yet complete, but Rapunzel was one of the first ones in the series that was done, and it's a nice little series down here. If you happen to see lights kind of shifting below me, that's because I've got these little dudes down here. This is a cool lantern. It has multiple modes, so it will change color if it wants to. So, and you can see the little chameleon in the corner is changing color. Oh, there it goes. So yeah, these are 2 of my color changing lights. He's really cool. His name is Hugh. He's from ThinkGeek actually, and Ellie got him for me too. But the cool thing with Hugh is that, as chameleons are wont to do, he doesn't just change color. You can actually match him up to things, and he will match the color of whatever he's on, or is a close approximation. So he's on a white table, and he gets a kind of yellowish hue because I guess it's an off-white, and if you put him on this blue Kleenex box, he turns blue. So he's nifty, and I really like him. There he's back to just changing colors. So up here, we're going to go back to some of the art I've got. I have an entire Brianna Garcia section, and most of them are prints, but that one was another gift from Ellie, and it's an original, and it's probably the only original I've got in my entire collection of art. And I've got actually a lot of art that's not on the walls that you're not seeing because it's not on walls, but this one is that's the original that Ellie got me for Christmas a couple years back. So up here we've got my series pins. You can see them, you know, there's only 2 official, well, there's 3 official series pins now, but only 2 of them I've got, because those 2 are from Disneyland. You've got the Pascal and the Rapunzel. And all the rest of these are fantasy pins, which means all the rest of these were made by a Tangled fan. One of many Tangled fans, because there's a lot of us out there doing this kind of stuff. Here is a Maximus's name badge and a life-size Pascal with a tilty head. Right here, we're moving on to, these are all fantasy pins, all Tangled, obviously. I do have other fantasy pins that aren't Tangled, but they're not with my Tangled collection. Why would they be? And then here is my official Tangled pins. I don't have nearly as many as I would like, but here's the thing, guys, is that getting into pins is like a dangerous game, because pin collecting is expensive and it's kind of cutthroat, and that's a little bit scary. here we've got Brunette, Rapunzel, and Eugene in silhouette. And I mounted that on nice sparkly pink paper because why not? This is a Victoria Ying, and it's another official print. I got this at Disneyland. They've got a art store there called Wonderground, and it's actually really easy to get. You know, that's where all their really good fine art is. Up here is the Kincaid. It is not an official Kincaid, I will openly admit. So yeah, this is, if you do another quick pan around, this is my Tangled collection. I actually do have more stuff. I've got clothes, I've got knickknacks, I've got bedding, I've got plushies. So yeah, I'm not actually going through the whole thing. I will have a cut and I will go to all my Christmas ornaments because I've got a lot of Christmas ornaments. But yeah, so I hope you guys enjoyed this little tour of my living room and all of my Tangled stuff. And if you've got any questions, feel free to ask. This part of the video is being shot a little out of order because I'm in the process of putting Christmas away, but I wanted to get you guys to see all of my ornaments before I did that. I do not have all of the Tangled ornaments that have been officially released. I have a lot of them, but I'm still missing some. But yeah, I try to, whatever new ones they have every year, I try to get. This one is particularly special because some friends of mine got that for me well after the fact, after it had been come and gone. Because that was from 2010, I believe, and then I didn't find out about it until years later. I actually have a lot of custom ornaments. These ones were made by a friend of mine. I did the art on Rapunzel and Eugene. I did the art on Rapunzel and Eugene on this one. Same friend made me this one, and she also made me this one, which is a lovely little stained glass sun ornament. I don't know if this one is an official Kincaid. Like, this is from the Kincaid art. It's also a stained glass window. But I don't know if that's an official release or what. But I got my hands on that one a couple years ago. You've got all the sketchbook ornaments that Steve Thompson does. I also pick up ornaments that remind me of Tangled, even if they're not official Tangled merchandise. This purple one with the long tassel, that was made by my sister. She actually makes ornaments as a supplemental income thing. I really, really love the Rapunzel one she made me. This crocheted one was made by a friend of mine in Germany, and she sent it over to me. I also use a lot of like doll accessories. If I've got extra ones, those get to be on my ornaments. And any of the little PVC things that people turn into ornaments, I can try to grab those. So yeah, this is my ornament collection, and this is my tree topper. I actually fixed her to a 7-pointed star tree topper, and that makes a huge difference to me because the Corona sun has 7 points. But yeah, this is my Christmas stuff, and now it all gets to go get put back into storage for the year. Thanks, guys.
Hi guys, I'm going to show you my collection. I don't have a ton of stuff. It's all on 2 shelves and a piano. So, but yes, let's get started. So we'll start with the top shelf here. Just, you know, I've got the animator dolls. That's the newer Rapunzel. I used to have the old one, but I got rid of it. I love this. It lights up. I haven't put a battery in it. I've got that little figurine, and I got that for Christmas. I had no idea it existed. It opens up. It's very cute. And that, which goes with the designer dolls, I've got the glass too. And then if we go down a step, and it's funny because I'm on a step stool right now because I'm short. I've got just all kinds of different little things. I have a lot of little things in my collection. I've got all the Tales of Rapunzel books. I wish they would continue to make them, but they got rid of them. And I also keep my magazines, and if you're not subscribed to these magazines, you totally should. They come out every 2 months, and they're about the series, and usually they have like an episode per magazine that it focuses on. Got the ornament, which I got at Disney World like a long time ago. And I finally got her adventure bag. I love it so much, and I put it with my satchel because it's so cute. Let's see, this shelf, I've got the Vanishing Village and the Lost Lagoon books, which are like my favorite. I love them. I've got all kinds of different little figurines, and I really like the little stuff. I like to put it all together. Rapunzel's on top of the caravan with a bottle and a sword because she's a badass like that. I've got these little, anything brunette, I love. You know, it's so hard to find that kind of stuff. And those are some of my ornaments. I have the other ones on the other shelf because they're special. Here's this shelf. Got the frying pan. Got the journal that came out that was super cute. These were gifts from my little niece and nephews. We've got the Art of Tangled book back there. I have it signed by Eugene and Rapunzel when I went to Disneyland and met them for the first time. And then this was a cup that was made for me with my name on it. And it's so cute, but I never use it. And I've got the series one back there too because it's cute and it's got a little adventure outfit on it. So that's the first shelf. I try to keep everything together because I don't have a lot of room. And here's my favorite shelf. I've got my designer dolls. I've got the Bride Rapunzel, which I was so excited to find. And then I've got the Ever After ornament. I've got the boat one, and I have the lantern one. I finally just completed that. I've been looking for those forever. And I've got that cute little bank thing, which I just found at Target. They didn't have it, so I was very excited to see that. And my little wedding pastel is perfect. Excuse my flowers, they're dying. Here's this shelf. More on my like pastel plushies. This giant one that Target had once was amazing. I've got a couple of the hats. That's not Tangled, but I got it anyway, and I put it on the shelf because it's too pretty not to display. Then I've got Eugene looking funny. I love those dolls. I got those on eBay. I got a lot of this stuff on eBay. I'm always hunting on eBay. I've got little ornaments. I had a tree that was up here for Christmas, and I had them all hanging out. It was real cute. It had flowers on it, but I got rid of that when Christmas went away. And so here's this shelf. This has some pretty cool things. I like my little hang. I've got our fandom resurrection. I just got this today. I got that as a wedding gift. That's one of my salt shakers. I used to have the other one, but it broke because it is very fragile. It does not like to stay up. This I got for Christmas. My husband got it for me, and I was over the moon because it is so hard to get one of these suckers. Here's my magic bands. This is when I met Rapunzel one time, and I had her sign it, and she was so fun. She was such a blast, and I'm glad that I had her do that. And they finally put his face on one, so I'm very excited about that. I have the wet paint sign. I've been looking for this for years. Found it on eBay a couple months ago. Very excited. These mugs are like my favorite. Eugene's looking a little orange, but that's okay because it's adorable. My sister-in-law got me this shirt. I don't know where she got it from. I'll have to look, but it's look at them. And I got this lantern from the Cheeky Cupcake on Instagram. I gotta remember how it works. It changes colors. It changes colors. It's real nice. It's real cool. So that's that shelf. And then down here we've got some shinies, which I shouldn't put here because I have little kids that come over and they like to try and steal my shiny stuff. Just little figurines. I've Eugene's first Funko. Very excited. My sister-in-law found this crown. I'm not sure where she found it, but it's very cute. I was very excited for it because I've never seen it before. And then this one I got from Fairy Tale Wigs. I always wanted like an authentic good crown. I finally got one. And then these were my wedding toms. I wore these on my wedding day. They've got, I'm not going to move them, but they've got my name on the side of them and the date that I got married and stuff. So that's that shelf. It's all kind of shoved in there. These are things I got for Christmas that I haven't put away yet because people, it's very easy to buy for me now. They just, as long as Rapunzel's on the front of it, I usually get it. I've got this Lego set I still have to put together. I've got a puzzle. I got the series puzzle. Had to get that. I've got this canvas, which I need to find a place for. And then my cousin made me this for Christmas. Very cute. There is a piece of art down here. I don't know why it's on the floor. But my sister-in-law got me this at New York Comic Con. I'm not sure who the artist is. It's that person. But very cute. Love it. Love art. I wish I had more room for art. So this is one of my favorite pieces of my collection. I got this on eBay. It's signed by Jeremy, Zach, Mandy, Eden, Chris, and Ben. Very cool. Cried when I got that. Very excited.
I've got this piece of art that I got for Christmas from my mother-in-law. It's a very adorable. And then my favorite part of my collection is my pin board. I always told myself I was never gonna get into pin collecting because it's expensive, it's hard to do, it's very, like Beck said, it's very cutthroat. You gotta be quick, you gotta be paying attention, and if you miss out on one thing, it's hard to get it back. So I'm very grateful for the way that my collection looks. I keep my pastels down here, and then my pins by Brie. This is one of my favorite ones. It's gorgeous. And I've got almost all the stained glass ones. I'm working on finding the last one. I keep all my series pins up here. They're so cute. Keep my tiaras right there. I love this one. And I keep my wedding ones right here. I'm very, very pleased with my wedding collection. There's not a lot of wedding pins. This is a really, really cool pin. I'm very lucky to have that in my collection. And then just some more of these, and those are very pretty. Those are new ones, and I got that one today. I usually always have pin mail, and I love it. But yeah, that's about it. I've got other stuff scattered, like over there I've got some of the dolls, and in my other room I've got some of like the stuffed animals and stuff, and stuffed characters, and I've got the blankets, and I've got shirts and stuff, but I don't have a lot of room, and eventually I'm going to move all this stuff downstairs and give it like a permanent home, but for now this is all I have, so there you go. If you guys have any questions or you want to see anything, just let me know. Thank you!
Hey everybody, it's Ellie, and today I'm going to be showing you guys my Tangled collection. This is a majority of it. Some of it is in storage because I have a very, very small room. But today I'm going to show you some of my favorite pieces. We're going to start with this beauty, the cardboard cutout that came with the Blu-ray. Ignore my garbage over there. I mostly use it to showcase my 12-inch dolls because it's a lot of nice space because that's where the Blu-rays would have gone. I got this from my local Barnes & Noble. They were going to throw it away, and I was like, can I have it? And they were like, sure. And then they never got back to me. But then I went in just one day randomly, and they were like, yeah, we were planning on throwing it away today. And I'm like, yeah, my name's written on the back. Give it to me. But yeah, so this is one of my favorite pieces because I don't think anyone else has this. And so I feel very lucky to have it. These are the standard dolls. Here's the original 17 inches of sparkly blonde hair, Rapunzel, in the dress she came in. And then these are two of the newer versions of the 12-inch dolls in the original outfits, though, because their original outfits are the best. And then I have some of the series dolls, like the first version of Rapunzel, who also has 17 inches of hair. And then there's this Rapunzel that I put in Eugene's clothes because, yeah. We've got Bride Rapunzel, some of the littler dolls. I love this Cassandra. She's just so cute. And then the Mattel wedding set with the little wedding dolls. And then this is also one of the 17 inches of blonde hair Rapunzel, but I cut her hair and dyed it myself. Yeah. Let's move over here. Ignore the thing that keeps all the moisture out of my room. So this is just kind of a mishmash of stuff. It's some of my newer stuff, or just little bits and bobs that I didn't have space for. There's some charms from the lovely Amber Glowing. I haven't found a place to put them on anything yet, but lots of Eugene Tsum Tsums, because, you know, he's the best. This is a pen that I got on my first ever Disneyland trip. It took me like half hour to find, and it was the only one left, so that's crazy. Oh, I just got this from Funko. Thanks, Funko, for finally making Eugene. And I love how their ready to fight, and I love that he's got the candlestick like he did in the trailer. The first trailer, at least. I love this little thing. It sings and plays music, and it's just overall cute. This is a super cute water bottle that I love. I mostly just display stuff now. I don't use as much stuff in my practical life anymore. I do take a Rapunzel water bottle to work, and little kids are like, oh my god, Rapunzel! And I'm like, yep. I do have a couple things down here that I don't have any room for, because as you can see, most of my space is taken up. I've got some shelves over here with some non-Tangled stuff, but they're also full, so, you know. Let's see what else. I love these little figures from Japan. They are so cute. These are, I can't even remember what these were called. They came on like a charm bracelet. They made lots of different ones, but I got the Tangled ones. They're ridiculous and small and squishy. Boop. A bottle of perfume from Hot Topic that I've never used because I don't wear perfume, but I bought it because it's Tangled, because I'm a dork. This is a birthday card that was made for me by one of my coworkers. It's signed by all my coworkers, and it's gorgeous. So shout out to Bria. I love this doll. I'm so lucky to have her. So thing about me, when I got into Tangled, I was 13. Tangled came out when I was 12. So I was working off my like $2 a week allowance plus the occasional babysitting job to buy so much of his stuff. So I missed out on the pre-sale for that. But the wonderful Angel/Ella on Tumblr was selling this, and she was like, I'm selling it for, you know, what it was sold for. If you want it, claim it. And I was like, oh my god, please. And I had enough money at that point, and I got her, and I love her. There's my tower of Tsum Tsums. You'll see 2 out of 5 Eugene Tsum Tsums in that pile. There's the 3rd Eugene Tsum Tsum. There's another one down here again. And then Adventure Eugene is currently on my bedside table. Let's see, what else do I have? So both of these are signed by Eugene Rapunzel. His signature was not super great. Hers turned out perfectly, though. I love it. Here is another Rapunzel that I cut the hair of and dyed myself. That one was quite the process. It took a lot longer than the first one I did. But yeah, and Eugene in his coronation outfit because he's a babe. Here's a beautiful painting by Holy Hairbrush that I love. I got this at Disneyland, and you can kind of see his boots are a little funky. This part wasn't colored in. Like, they thought it was part of his leg or something, and I was like, what the frick? Wedding bays holding hands, being adorable. I love this little set, even though Eugene has the weirdest face. My first ever Nendoroid, who I love. Plus there's Becky's Christmas gift from me, like, last year? Yeah, 2017, not 2018. But I don't have anywhere to put it, so it's just been up there. The first singing Rapunzel doll. One of the latest singing Rapunzel dolls. And then there's a bunch of little friends in there. I have multiple copies of some of the characters. My dad used to pick up donations, and he would find occasional extra Tangledy things for me and bring them home. Yeah, this is just lots of little bits and bobs. That's a lot of what I have because, as I said, I was 13. I didn't have a lot of money. This is a tower. It's got 2 dolls in it. It came out, I don't remember when, but yeah, it's cute. I like it. Snowy babes, little babes, Corona flag covered in cobwebs, sorry. The best Eugene flag, except for some reason he's looking lovingly at Maximus, which is always weird to me. Now we're gonna move on. Ignore my curtain. So, okay. This is something that I don't talk about, or I haven't talked about before, because I was trying to respect Claire's, you know, she when she gave this to me, she was like, "It's not very pretty. Are you sure you want it?" And I was like, "Yes. I don't care if you drew it in like 2 minutes. It's still a Rapunzel drawing by Claire Keane." So this is from when Claire released her book, Once Upon a Cloud. That seems right. And I went to a signing that she did at a bookstore near my house, and she drew this little picture of Rapunzel, and I was like, oh my god, I have to ask her if she'll give it to me. And she did. She didn't sign it. So you only have my word to go off of, but it is drawn by Claire Keane. I've got one of the, you can't see it very well because the lighting in my room sucks, but there's one of the lithographs. Here's another lithograph. That's just a bunch of random Disney stuff. Oh, but there are some Tangled pins here. This is one of my favorites by Ricky Loves Pin Trading. Here's another great one by The Cheeky Cupcake. Both of those are specially framed. I bought this off eBay. It's from Walt Disney World. Here's some of the art that I've bought at conventions or has been gifted to me. This is one of my favorites. It's by these 3 friends who live nearby. It's, let's see, Kylie Henke, Sonic Hearts, so, and, oh god, I can't remember the last one. I'm sorry, I love you all, though. They're all so nice to have drawn me these things. Here are my plushies. They're kind of destroyed right now, because they're at the foot of my bed, but that's my big Rudiger. Yeah. Let's see. Now let's move on to the pins. So there's a lot of them. There's a lot of pins. Let's move things out of the way. There we go. So these are all official Tangled pins. Or at least I hope they all are. There might be some scrappers in there. Namely this one I'm not sure about. But all the other ones I'm pretty sure are legit. Some of them I have bought from the parks. Some of them I've bought off eBay. Some I've bought off Instagram. I think my favorite part is the puzzle. I have the full puzzle thanks to so many nice people, especially Kelsey. She helped me complete this for my birthday and Christmas. I also love that I have this. I used to have Gothel. I traded Gothel for Eugene, because Gothel or Eugene? I'm gonna pick Eugene. These are all fantasy pins that relate to the movie and Tangled Ever After. I decided to move all of my series pins to a separate board because there's a lot of them, and there are gonna be even more. This is mine and Becky's pin. We still have a couple for sale. Sun Opal pins. We've got another one coming out. It's got Cassandra. There's still some pre-sale spots for that if you want. Shameless plug. I love all of these. It's mostly Ricky and Luna. So Ricky Loves Pin Trading and Luna pins. But there's also some from Brianna Kenny, who was on the show. There's some from Amber Glowing or Glow Amber. And yeah. Oh, and Kai Jane or KY I don't know what I don't know how to say your thing correctly, but I did buy your cute wooden Varian pens. Boop and boop. Oh, and there are some from the Cheeky Cupcake too. I apologize. It's this one and this one, and I think that's it. Oh, no, and the poster. But yeah, I love all of my pins. I have a lot of them. Some of my newer ones. I got this one recently from Instagram, and this set I love. It's so cute. This Pascal, his whole head turns around. It's very fun. And this is a beautiful stained glass one made by the Cheeky Cupcake as well. Oh my god, I was so lucky to get this pin. I missed out on the pre-sale because I was at work, but then there was an empty spot, and Ricky is wonderful, and I traded her my pin plus some money for this one, and it's so gorgeous, I can't even. But yeah, I have a lot of pins. That sounds like a brag, but I'm actually just, like, kind of horrified at how many I have. Oh, and then there's this little set, which, yes, includes not only Rapunzel, I'm sorry, but it's a set of the Sweet Japan series by the Cheeky Cupcake. These are all boosters from Disneyland Paris. They're all from the, like, first booster pack that they made for those movies. I mean, this one came out recently, but, like, the Ariel one was only released recently. And then these two are fantasy pins based off this style. So this one's real. These two are fantasy pins, also by the Cheeky Cupcake. I have a lot of her pins. So, yeah, those are my pins. And that's pretty much my collection. I have some other things too, but a lot of it's in storage. There are some books over here, like my very heavily used Art of Tangled book, which I love. And there's my Blu-ray collection, featuring more Tangled. Surprise, surprise. But yeah, so that's my collection. And to finish it off, I'll show you my new favorite thing, which is my Eugene poster. So now I can bash at home. And if you don't know what that means, yeah, it's okay. It's a joke. Okay, bye!
Alright, I hope you guys enjoyed looking at all of our collections and all that kind of fun, crazy stuff. Quick announcement, Kingdom Hearts 3 releases in the US on January 29th. It's actually I think it releases in Japan on the 25th, but it's already out to the people who, like, do game reviews. Mm-hmm. So we are actually getting footage already. If you want to, like, look on YouTube, there are people who are live streaming things.
I watched the beginning of the Tangled section today, and I was like giddy. I'm sitting at my desk, like with my hand, like my chin in my hands. I'm like, oh my god! I'm like dying. It was so good. Like, you have to watch it.
Honestly, the part that really excites me about this is that it's like, I know that Zach has said that he doesn't like the voice he used for Eugene. And a lot of the time, he doesn't like the way that he read the lines, or rather, he doesn't like the takes that they chose. So I'm kind of happy for him that he gets a redo, basically.
Oh, yeah.
Like, he's now doing Eugene in Siri's voice, if you've noticed.
Yes.
So he's using his Siri's voice on Eugene, and he's getting to, like, take another shot at these lines that he didn't like the way that they chose to do them. So, like, that's... way to go, Zach. He gets to be in Kingdom Hearts finally, which he's always wanted. He gets to be a superhero, which he's always wanted. And he gets a Funko Pop, which he's always wanted. So
now they just need to make a Eugene Pop.
A full size.
Come on!
Full size. He's got to win a one.
Yeah. So, yeah, but like Zach's living it up in 2019. Good for Zach.
Mm-hmm.
So also on Twitter, we are now being encouraged by the producers and creators of other shows to tweet at Disney Channel our complaints about them not airing Tangled. So keep at it. I know that a lot of people have been saying a lot of stuff. I check the tags every now and then. Use the hashtag #AirMoreTangled. Let them know that we're not happy. Let them know that not just that we want the hiatus to be over, but that we want them to actually pay attention to the series as a whole. Mm-hmm. You know, I know that I keep stressing this, but like, this is my baby project, so I'm going to keep stressing this. So thanks again for joining us, and we hope you enjoyed this special visual episode of Tangled Talk. We hope you've got all of this hiatus nonsense sorted out soon enough, but the new episodes are the first glimmer on the horizon that we've got since August, so I'll take it. You know, It's like, even though we don't have dates yet, we now have at least a light at the end of the tunnel because we know what's coming. And I kind of feel like, I don't know, like, they wouldn't release it in another country if they were going to make the U.S. wait that much longer, you know?
It's gotta be coming. It's
gotta be coming. All right, guys, thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next time. Bye!
Bye!
Bye!